Hey everyone, this is Jim, and if you're seeing me, that can mean only one thing. I'm glad to say that Season 5 of Survivor Branford is right around the corner. So this year, we've upped our roster to include 14 players, and I'm excited to see the possibilities that a larger game will bring for us. This year's Castaways includes a great mix of skills, personalities, and experience playing Survivor Branford, when all put together should make for a really exciting season. So are you ready? Here comes my cast assessment. This first person will no doubt be the subject of many conversations throughout the game, so why not lead off with her? I'm talking about Amanda. So I think Amanda has a great mind for this game, and last year she showed us what she could be capable of. Best put, I think that the longer Amanda stays in the game, the tighter her grip becomes on it. She's a very influential person with a personality that makes you just want to work with her. A central part to how this season turns out will revolve around if her tribe mates band together early and work against her, or if there's a collective uh-oh from everyone shortly after the merge, when it may be too late. I think we were robbed last year. Of Autumn. Her game was cut short, and I think that there was just so much left out on the table. This year's award for player I'm most looking forward to seeing again goes to her. I think that Autumn has a natural charisma that'll make it easy for her to align with anyone she pleases. Since she's not a physically dominating presence, I think that it's inevitable that her name is always going to come up early in the game. But when it comes down to it, I think a common thought among her tribe during the scramble will be, "But I like Autumn, so I'm not voting her out." If she makes the merge, don't expect her to go anytime soon. One thing in Survivor that really pays dividends is the ability to put your tribe mates at ease. And I think someone who does a great job of that is BRITTANY. She's just so relaxed and chill that people are never going to be uncomfortable around her in the game. Her personality also flows into the way she strategizes and comes up with ideas, in that she doesn't push too hard. Though it may be her plan, the presentation of it may lead others to think it was their own. If BRITTANY were to pull that curtain back in front of a jury, it would be a powerful move. And let's not forget that BRITTANY is sneaky athletic, having won more often than not, both in terms of tribal and individual challenges. There's not so much a glass ceiling for her, rather, there's no ceiling at all. I think there's a male counterpart to BRITTANY in this year's game, and his name is Charlie. He shares a lot of the same qualities. He's laid back, athletic, and just likable. He comes into the game as a blank slate and has an opportunity to make a really good first impression on his tribe. I think he's going to try to keep his head down, build alliances, and move forward as far as he can before he needs to step up. It's probably going to take a key move or two later in the game for Charlie to make the final tribal council, but if he's there, and he's played the clean game that he hopes to, more than just a couple votes will be coming his way. No season of Survivor Branford would be complete without Dennis. I think if you were making a list of the greatest players to never win Survivor Branford, Dennis would have to be on it. Simply put, Dennis will not give his tribe any good reason to vote him out early. As a big challenge contributor, and someone who makes a point to build relationships with each member of his tribe, one of the best bets you can make is for Dennis to be at the merge. This is where having made all those relationships will really begin to pay off. If he feels the walls are closing in on him from any direction, he's got options. Dennis is on a mission to return to the final three, and this time be the last one standing. Doubt him at your own risk. In a game of Survivor, I think there are just some people who are incapable of finishing in the middle of the pack. And we've got one this year, and her name is JAMEN. Now, I don't think that JAMEN will give off any threat vibes to her tribe early on. This may mean that she's voted out early in an effort to keep those who are perceived as bigger contributors to the tribe. But it's just as likely that this could mean she's able to stroll through the game in the back of people's minds. We can get her any time, they'll think. And then time's up, and JAMEN's pleading her case to the jury. If you're lucky enough to play Survivor more than once, you're always going to ask yourself, do I play the same game, or do I change things up? And one person that I think is definitely going to change up his game is Joe. So last year, Joe was an observer to Season 4 much like we were, although he had a front row seat. He's not going to let that happen again. I expect Joe to come out swinging. While I understand the want to make up for being passive in the past, I would caution Joe to not overcompensate. Be more of a background influencer rather than an outspoken leader. Find a good core to work with instead of making a final 3 deal with everyone. This playstyle is clearly riskier, but comes with huge potential upside. Win or lose, I think Joe is going to leave everything out there. It's really tempting to want to go out on top, but to true competitors, this is a foreign concept. Introducing Kyle. I think last year Kyle surprised himself by winning Survivor Branford. But now Kyle is going to try to use his experience in playing this game and the now exponentially bigger target on his back coming in to take his spot as the greatest winner of them all. The scary thing is that I think there will still be some people who write off Kyle's victory as a fluke. Imagine this. People want to keep Kyle around early on for challenge strength. He makes the merge, but as others do crazy things and elevate their threat level, Kyle maneuvers as he needs to and hangs in. And at the final tribal council, Kyle says that despite coming back as a winner, he's here again and drops the mic. Crazier things have happened, right? Survivor is often a game of lies, deceit, and manipulation. But there's someone who's trying to rewrite that narrative, and his name is Mark. Now, people who know Survivor and who know Mark would think, wow, this is not a good match. You're far too genuine and nice to do the dirty work it takes to win this game. But Mark is betting on himself and believes he knows something the rest of us don't. I think Mark is a classic example of someone who will have a hard time making it to the end of the game, but if he does get there, will stand an excellent chance at winning. Sometimes all jury wants is an excuse to vote for the person they like best. Mark is plenty likable. If he can add a dash of strategy to that profile, he may just have the recipe for the win. If you were trying to build a Survivor player, how would you do it? I think I would try to blend a lot of different skills together without tipping the scales in any one area. And I think I'm describing Mare. Now, unlike some other players in this game, Mare comes in without any negative perceptions of her. I think that she's social, strategic, and athletic, but not to the point where it's blatantly obvious. If Mare were to just be herself, listen to the thoughts of her tribe mates, pick up a couple key allies along the way, and choose her spots carefully, her resume would be tough to ignore at the end. Sometimes this game provides a mirror for you to look into, and I think someone that's especially taking that to heart is Meredith. Now, Meredith has come close several different times to winning this game, but just hasn't quite gotten there yet. She is now very mindful that Survivor is as much a social game as a strategic one. In the past, Meredith may have thought that it wasn't a good use of time to bother with those on the bottom. But after hearing some critical feedback about her final 3 run last year, and having the opportunity to think about how to modify her game, she may now have the final tools she needs to take care of her unfinished business. Overcoming adversity is something that everyone goes through in life, and in Survivor. And someone that I think will have to overcome early adversity is NAINAN. Now, it's definitely a bold move to play Survivor without knowing how to swim. While this could have negative effects on his game and his tribe early on, I'd try to find the silver lining in it. It would be a foolish move for people to write NAINAN off simply for this reason. If people let their guard down around him, not considering him to be a contender, he'll surely take advantage of that. NAINAN is very personable and is a really smart guy. If he can do what he does well, building friendships, any potential drawbacks become secondary. NAINAN's biggest hurdle is going to come at the beginning of the game. If he can clear it, I think that he'll be battle-tested in a way that carries him further than even he thinks he can go. One reason why Survivor is still so popular after all these years is that it continually introduces you to great characters. Someone I've been lucky enough to know, that I'm excited to share with you, is Steve. Never at a loss for what to say, or to offer relevant information on any topic, Steve's social game is going to thrive. He's also a noted strategist in the 2D world of board games, which he hopes he can leverage for the 3D experience of Survivor. I think that Steve's ability to make you laugh and his natural demeanor give him a big edge over some in this game. If it comes time where his number is up, the joke may be on others, as he may have dug in and developed quite a backing. I believe that Steve may be one of the few people that others would want to win this game if they couldn't win it themselves. Something that I'm trying to work on personally is to take more chances or be more adventurous in life. And that's why I admire Yowie. Without even knowing what she was getting into, Yowie said, "Sign me up." I respect that, and I hope that Yowie gets what she is looking for out of Survivor. In addition to her spirit, she's a very intelligent person, which could make her learning curve small. I think the best case for Yowie is that early on people don't see her as a threat while she's getting some experience under her belt. Then that critical time will come when she lets loose and surprises everyone. I don't know if Yowie can win this game, but the thought of her doing so brings a smile to my face. Alright, so how could I sum that all up? I think the only way to do it is to make a winner pick before I sign off. In this case, I think that history can be a great indicator of what to expect. First off, it's impossible to not consider that in the first 4 seasons, the winner of the game has had practically no prior experience playing the game. So with that in mind, I'm going to narrow the field down to 5. And this may be foolish of me, but there's a pretty distinct trend where females have been the winners of odd-numbered season, so sorry Charlie and NAINAN. And last, of our final 3 candidates, I'll just use my gut feel to say that I'm predicting that Mare is going to be the winner of Survivor Branford Season 5. It's so great to be back, and I hope to see you on September 29th as Survivor Branford Season 5 kicks off.